This video is meant for those who have completed either their bachelor's or master's in physics, mathematics, engineering, and you are ready to face the job market. And you are facing this very common question: tell me about yourself. Introduce yourself, or tell me something which is not written in your resume or your CV. So in this video, I'm going to address this question: how do you introduce, how do you answer this burning question, tell me about yourself. Now remember, I am making this video in order to make it very generic so that it comes as an all-purpose video even for biology or any graduate who wants to face the interview and wants to answer this question, tell me about yourself. They can do it fairly well. I'm going to divide the video into small parts, addressing part by part so that you really do not feel nervous, and now you feel super confident and you can readily answer tell me about yourself. Remember, this is a burning question which is being asked at any level, either face-to-face or a Skype interview or through webinars. And this is something which I'm addressing day by day to all the students in India, Thailand and other places of the world, internationally in my college. So please do not skip this video, watch this video till the end, and after that, if you have any doubt, please write to my email ID or talk to me over WhatsApp. You can also make a sample video where you're talking as if you're facing the interview. You can send it to me. I will take a little bit of time, but I can promise you I will come back with the suggestions and what are the corrections that you need to make. My name is Shaunak and you're watching this video on my channel, Physics for Students. You might face this question, introduce about yourself or tell me about yourself, in two ways. The first would be that you are facing a front-to-front interview. The second will be an online interview, right? Now you might say, is this the answer would be the same? Yes, the answer would be the same, but there is a little bit of change in terms of sitting position, posture, background, etc. Now typically for an online interview, I will come to in a separate part of the video. You need to wear a dress which is in contrast with this background, right? So you see I am sitting somewhere where the background is little bit grayish, right? But I am wearing a dark colored shirt. This should not be the way. I should wear a light colored shirt if the background is dark, and if the background is light, I should wear a light colored shirt. So anyway, I am in a vacation right now, so I am in a more hotel, so things are just like that. Plus there is a camera position, the way you talk, the left hand side, right hand side, the mic position, all those things I will later mention it if you want in a video. How do you face webinars or how do you answer to online questions? Because post-COVID I have been addressing to a lot of webinars, Mexico, Chile, Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, India and various other countries. So I teach there how to attend an interview questions through online. But right now what I am talking is about a face-to-face interview. Now remember, when the recruiter asks you, tell me about yourself, you need to understand that he or she has already looked into your biodata. He or she has already gone through your CV. He or she has already known what is your name, what is your phone number, where do you stay, what is your qualification, what is your professional experience, your hobbies, everything. I can talk a lot about how to make a resume, but that if you want, you can put up as a comment request. I can make a separate video on that. That is very important. Anyway, so the person when he is telling, remember that I ask you, okay, so and so, tell me about yourself. I have already gone through your resume. I already know all those details, but still I am asking, tell me about yourself. So point number one, remember that the recruiter or the person who is taking your interview wants to know something which is not in your resume, something which is not mentioned in your resume. So obviously you have to start with your name. Hi, my name is Shaunak and I teach physics and mathematics, so and so. But remember that you need to mention a little bit more which is not mentioned in your resume. So you can always mention a little bit about the way you interact with people, something I would say a little bit more about the way you teach in class if you are facing a interview as a teacher. If you're going in as a data science or data scientist, you can always say that right from my childhood, I always dreamt of being a data science or deal with huge data or deal with artificial intelligence, and that is my motto, and that is why I've applied for the job, because I think that my skills and my honesty and hard work will definitely fulfill not only my dream but also the companies or universities institutes dream. Remember that apart from your own objectives, goals, whatever you have, it is the person's objective which comes first. That means if the person is recruiting you as a university or as a college graduate or as from a college, then you have to put forth the goals or objectives of the college first. It is not about your goal. So you can always say, I always wanted to be a physics teacher or a mathematics teacher because the way I teach, the way I make the classes more interactive, I think that is the best way in which I can make your class interesting, and I think that I will put forward the goals and objective of your institute in front of me, and through these qualities of mine, I will be able to fulfill the goals of the company. That means you're pointing towards him, that the goals and objectives of the university or the college or corporate body, whatever, will be fulfilled. So this is something which you have obviously not mentioned in your resume, right? You mentioned your name, phone number, email ID, your personal achievements, your objectives, your everything. But this is something, your personal dream, your childhood dream to become a physics or a mathematics teacher or being a data scientist or being an engineer or whatever, pursuing further research in astrophysics. This is point number one. You need to tell something which is not mentioned in your resume. Thing which I find most of the students missing is a clear communication pattern. Either you are not clear in the objective, or you are not good in communication, or there is a problem with English vocabulary, either in writing or reading. You always stammer. You say, okay, sir, I mean to say, my name is Shaunak, and like I want it to be. So you see there is like, ooh, all those gaps. This is something which is clearly avoidable. Please avoid any gap. Please avoid stammering. I mean to say, not that stammering. I mean to say, ooh, or I like, I feel. These words should not be used. Whatever you like, you feel, you dream, that is different. But here you are giving a clear-cut introduction about yourself. So I always feel that my dreams and objectives have been as a physics teacher, and I do have those skills through which I can make physics class more interesting. So what is happening is that when you're talking about introduce about yourself, you are telling two things. One, which you are good at. Okay, now you might say that you are very good in teaching physics, mathematics, all of us are good at. But what is good? You might say that I'm very good in interacting with students so that I can bring forward the classroom more interesting. Or you might say that I use music in the classroom so that mathematics class and physics class are not much boring. You can also say that I will help to memorize the formulas of algebra in such a way that the students are not going to forget. That means you're telling something unique. You're telling something which would clearly impact the classroom, which is clearly going to bring a difference in the classroom, right? So what is happening is that you're giving them a clear-cut objective, you're giving them a clear-cut goal, and apart from that, you're showing that these are my skills. Come on, you should hire me. So first of all, as I told you, introduce about yourself is something which is not mentioned in the resume. Point number two is that you should not stammer, or there should be like, I mean, no false word. Clear cut what you want. And third is that put forward the goals and objectives of the university, college, or the corporate or the scientific institution which is recruiting you right in front of everything. I repeat, the goals and objectives and the motto of the recruiting company should be in front of you, not your objective. So that the recruiter understands that he or she keeps the goals of the objective in a much better fashion rather than selfish objectives of that person to get recruited. Also, there is another important thing which is called when you are asking about tell me about yourself, what you can do is that you can highlight your personality. That means you can talk a little bit about your likes and dislikes, right? You can always talk a little bit about what you like and what are your core strength area, and you can always tell that these are the strength areas of mine, and I think with the type of institute which you are, I think that would be something really good. Focus on strengths and abilities supported with examples. Consider how your current job relates to the job which you're applying, and format your response in a proper, clear manner. Now remember that the time limit the interviewer gives to the interviewee is round about how much? 1 minute, 1.5, 2 minutes time, in which you have to quickly create a response. So remember that when you're talking about physics or mathematics as a whole, as a teacher, you can be a researcher, you can be a teacher, you can be anything into physics and mathematics. Remember, you need to focus on the core strength area. Don't tell mathematics, don't tell physics, don't tell that I like physics, etc. No, you need to tell which area of physics. It is thermodynamics, it is classical mechanics. If it is mathematics, you can talk a little bit about differential calculus, or in general, you have seen my earlier videos, how to attend interview question part 1 and part 2, which I did in a part, where I have mentioned that you need to be very specific and categorize. That means not general mathematics and physics teacher, but what you are really good at and how you can improve the current situation of the institute to become better. For example, people are unable to understand algebra, you can do it better. People are not liking physics or mathematics class, they will go to sleep, you can do it better. People are feeling bored in physics and mathematics class, you can do better through interaction. People really don't have any idea, or they really feel that abstract concepts cannot be explained, and they are not listening to the professor, you can do things better. So you have to really frame out that what are the things that you are really, really good at. And when you're telling about, so tell me about yourself, that means he is asking or she is asking to tell me about me. And this me is what? This me is about the core strengths, the core areas, the core ideas, and you need to expand on those core areas and core ideas on that specific venue. Right. So what I would request you is that let us now summarize. Let me see. I don't think that we are about yourself. So this part 1 would be, first of all, remember that they are asking you to summarize something which is not mentioned in your resume. So be sure that the recruiter is really interested about you and the recruiter wants to engage in a discussion. I mean to say, until we talk to each other, we won't be able to understand. Right. So this is point number 1. Second, very important is that there should not any like, mean, I mean to say, no gap. Start practicing right from today. Send me WhatsApp audio or WhatsApp video where you're standing in front of the camera and you're talking. I'm promising you I will deliver back with due points what you need to do and what you should not need to do. That is point number 2. That means no stammering, no gap, clean, clear talk. Third point is that when you're talking, frame it in a proper sentence and talk mostly about your strengths, your ideas, how will you improve the classroom, and as I told you, most importantly, that keep the objective of the university, college or the corporate body or the scientific body who is recruiting you in front of you. But before that, how do you know what are their objectives, etc.? You need to do a research. So before going to the interview, I always request my candidates or students to do a proper research through the website. There are many other websites through which you go. I mean to say, you can do a proper research and you will get to know, I won't say everything, but a lot of things about them, and then you get prepared, you go there prepared. Another important thing what I told you is that never criticize your current company, your current boss or your current colleagues. Always tell something good and something very positive about the current company, and then frame your answer in such a way that the goals have been a little bit different. So I think that I have reached to a limitation, or this current company has its own standards. so I cannot go beyond that. This institute will give me a better research facility, a better teaching profile, a better international crowd or anything. And lastly, what I would also like to tell is that don't say general physics interest, I'm a good teacher, everybody is a good teacher. What specific strengths you have? Are you a good storyteller? Go ahead with that. You can use music in the classroom, go ahead with that. You can use puzzles and interactions, go ahead with that. So what is something very specific, something you can really do well, go ahead with that. So these are few of the points which is very important for introduce about yourself. As I told you, you can contact me over my email, you can WhatsApp me your audio message, or you can send me a complete video. In the next part, I would like to give you some more examples about Tell Me About Yourself and give you sample model answers. And in the third part, I will make another video on how to attend interview question, online webinars, color of your dress, camera position, lighting, how do you sit and how do you talk. Because webinars, although the answer would more or less be the same, but webinars and front-to-front interview has got two different things. Here a person sees you directly over the table or chair. Here a person sees you over a camera, over a lens, over something virtual. So how you can make that virtual thing look really real, I think I can talk on that. So that would be the final part. Depending, let us see that how people respond and how do you like my video. So these are few of the points, very important. I told that at a length, but you have to frame them in maximum 1.5 to 2 minutes time. That is the time duration. Don't talk too much, people will start feeling bored. And if you remember that in this 2 minutes, when you're talking, tell me about yourself, if you can really make an impact on the recruiter, you are done with the job. And also remember, you can speak a little bit about your hobbies, but hobbies which are obviously related to physics and mathematics. These are the points, because the recruiter is really interested in you after going through your resume, after going all through the details, your age, your phone number, your experiences, your academics. Still they are asking you, tell me about yourself. So tell them something which is not mentioned in your CV, something which will ensue a kind of a conversation. Next question you answer, next question you answer. So there is a continuous conversation. So that's it for this part of the video. So please do put up your comments. Please click on the bell icon and click on subscribe to the channel Physics for Students. Thank you for watching this video.
Thank you for watching this video. We appreciate your time and patience. If you want to connect with us and provide further feedback, comment or suggestions, please email us at contact.physicsforstudents@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn. See you soon in the next video.